Hi everybody, I'm here today with a new design team project for Meg's Garden, and I used the Forgotten Meadows book kit on part of this, but then I also picked up scraps because I've been saving all the little bits and pieces that I had left over from all of the collections. And so you may see that there's some from the butterfly book kit, or there might be some from the French Garden book kit, other little pieces that are tossed in here besides the Forgotten Meadows. What I had was I had picked up, it was a note card, or a note, I don't know what, a notebook and address book package, and it all looked like this when I got it. This is what they were like. This is the address book. So few people use address books anymore, that I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this one. But the rest of it I altered, and I used again the combination of Distress Paints by Tim Holtz, the Chipped Sapphire and the Seedless Preserves. I mixed them together in one of these little disposable condiment cups, and then I painted. And now this one is just a plain notebook, but I'm going to use it for another gift, not with this one. So I just wanted to kind of show you what I did, and I basically did the same thing here. I painted all of the edges. The bottom was black. I left it alone. I took this front part off because it had this paper on it, and I replaced it. This is some of the Forgotten Meadows paper here, and this little strip from Meg's that I glued down with double-sided tape. This one I believe is from the French Garden, but don't quote me. I'll put links to all of these below the video. These are flowers from Meg's store. Aren't they just gorgeous? And the acetate butterflies, which I love. This one now, if you want it to be freestanding and pop up like this way, you can see how it's out from the book. Just leave a tail of acetate, just a little strip on the end of it, and glue it down in. Because it's clear, people aren't going to notice it. And then I continued it around the side. Here's one of the butterflies that I fussy cut from the paper, and some of the pearl strands. More of this that I glued on this paper strip. This, again, if you watched my last video on the notebook, you'll know that I had one of these. This was actually packaging from a pair of jeans that I'd gotten, and it was purple on the edges, so it was perfect. And I added some of the paper from the collection down here, a sticker that says "Follow Your Feelings," one of Meg's metal pieces, and then somebody had given me this little purple flower, and it was perfect. I put it in. So this is actually a pocket on the back side with a couple of tags stuck in. And then inside, now this is acetate, so you can actually, if I can show you here, I don't know whether it's going to let me do that or not. I had trouble with it gluing itself, so I don't think that this is actually going to be a pocket that you can put a picture in, but I love this so much anyway, I can't imagine. Here's another little metal piece from Meg's, and these were some stickers I had that just I put the word notes down. And then inside, this was the fourth piece that came in that collection, and I just covered it with some of the paper from the collection, another piece of that strip so that it tied it all in, and the back, and it's just plain paper. And then this, I wanted to put my own note paper in this, so I made a belly band with some oh gee, what is this called? It's like a pulp paper, like a natural paper, and I had it in this really pretty lavender, which was perfect. So I put this paper border strip, and let me see if I can find this right here. This is in Meg's store, and it comes like this. And I love these paper strips. And they're quite long. They must be over a yard long each piece. But they're just wonderful. So I glued it to the purple, seamed it here, and put a piece of Meg's ribbon on it. And this is actually, let me see if I can find it here. Here's one right here. This is actually this flower. And I took it and I sprayed my little cup of purple with some water so it was a little bit damper, and kind of dipped it in that. And I also used some vintage photo, and you can see where it's a little bit darker, different color. And then I just kept scrunching it and blow drying it until I got the look I like. So I love, love, love to buy things that are white. White ribbon, white paper, white flowers, anything that way, because then you can color it whatever color you want to match the project you're doing. I added another little butterfly, again with that tail that goes underneath the flower that holds it on, and one of the pearl sprays. And then this is just all plain paper that sits in here. Now again, I had hoped to get to the craft store to see if I could find an ink pen that has the fat barrel that you can unscrew, and I could cover it with some of the paper to match, but so far I haven't found anything, but that's still what I'm looking for. Well, last night I was sitting here looking at this, and it was all finished. I was ready to film. I thought, well, you really should make a card. And I have so many scraps, and I should have filmed it when I was doing the card, but you know, hindsight's always a better thing. So if I have time a little later, I'll do another one and film it so you can see the thought process and how it goes together by just using bits and pieces. This is the card. I took a white piece of white and cut the envelope, and then I sprayed it with a couple of Lindy Stamp Gang sprays to pick up the colors in the card. And this was just a scrap that I had. And then here's the card. And this is scraps that I had from the different collections, and I just put them together with one of the doilies as an accent piece back behind. Now, I first put the doily on my mauve colored cardstock, and these corners were bare, and I thought, wow, I'd really like to pick up some of the greens. But I didn't have a big enough piece left, but I had bits and pieces. So these strips are only just like a triangle here. And they're all odd shapes and everything, but it doesn't matter. So I guess what I'm telling you is don't throw anything away until you're sure you're completely done making things, because even the oddest shape of something will work to create a new project for you. I had just this little tiny square of these flowers, so I fussy cut them all out. This part was chopped off of this oval, so I fussy cut it all out and stuck it underneath. The Friends was in one of the collections, and the little lady. This is a piece of ribbon, and all you do is put a piece of tape down and then just start pleating your ribbon. Then I tied the ends, put another piece of tape, and then scrunched it into it, and that will hold it in place. There's some of the pearl strands here, and this is just a little tiny piece of that eyelash ribbon from Meg's store, and I put a little round circle behind her that kind of looks like a hat, and then some of those on it to make it kind of look like feathery things. And then on the inside, I have another one of the little fussy cut ladies, a butterfly, and a couple. These are actually 3 odds and ends that I had that just tucked together. And as you can see, I've kind of intertwined them. So this one goes over that one goes over that, this one interlaces with that, the lady's elbow goes, so it pulls it all together. But that's the card now that will go with my gift. And I think that turned out to be a really nice gift to give someone. Now, the last thing I wanted to share with you was how I separate my scraps when I've finished a lot of projects. Now, like I said, in here are Forgotten Meadows. Come on, come apart here. The Butterfly Book, the French Garden Book Kit, a Gentleman's Collection, the Sherlock book, and the correspondence collection. There's all bits and pieces from everything in there. And I take the ones that are pieces of paper like this, not full sheets, just odds and ends, and I tuck them in one envelope. Another envelope will hold pieces that I've actually fussy cut out or would fussy cut out. Here's some little girls. Here's some butterflies. Let's see if I have something. Here's one of, nope. Here are some tags that I've cut out, an envelope to make. All different kinds of pieces that have already been or are able to be fussy cut and used in projects are in this one. Here's some butterflies, some tickets. Here's the king and queen, another ticket, a little circle. So you know that everything in the one envelope are things that you've already cut or that you can cut into pieces. These are just scraps of different kinds of paper. And then the larger pieces of paper I put in one so that if I know I need something, I don't have much left here. That is some of the line paper, and I have this car because I'm still, oops, sorry, off camera. I have this car left from the gentleman's collection because I have to make something with this car. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know I have to make something. But anything that's okay, I do have a double spread here. Anything that's a little bit larger, I keep together. And then I put them all together in one bag. And I store mine in plastic totes. So there's all my pieces of paper all together so that when I want to make more cards, and basically this is probably what's going to be what this ends up being, because there's not enough to make any larger projects with it. I've got everything neat and tidy together, and it just makes the simplicity of making something go so much more faster. So don't discard your scraps, like I said, until you are positively sure that you're not going to be making any other projects, because you would be amazed. And like I said, I'll try to make up another card to show you. You would be amazed how many tiny little pieces went into the making of this card. So thanks for joining me. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you become one today. Hit the like button if you like my project, and leave me a comment. I try to answer them all. Bye everyone. Be sure and check out Meg's Garden Store. I will leave links to supplies down below and a link to her store and the blog. Bye bye now.